Welcome back, everybody. Second game of the day. We have got XL versus Granit. As I said, doesn't mean a huge amount in terms of like big impact in Group A, but for XL, a win here feels relatively necessary in order to ensure that they're going to keep themselves alive in terms of competing for the top 2 spots at the very least in their group.
But this game, X-Scoundrel, is a banger. And do you know why? Because BTXL this split have not beaten Granit before. Granit are coming in as huge favorites into this academy team that has been stopping.
Oh, keep going, keep going.
80 carry in Fabro that we have been watching unfolding himself on picks like the Vein, where they love to play around them. They had a brawl against
the movie trailer
where they almost were able to take it down. So from Granit, we're expecting some hyper 80 carry shenanigans. So Deadly, the UK superstar, going up against Baypro, the upcoming Danish 80 carry superstar, to battle against each other on Summoner's Rift. If you are not hyped about that matchup, I don't know what will get you hyped. Probably Northern versus Galaxy Racer, but I mean, that's not part of the conversation right now. BTXL versus Granit Gaming.
And you know what's the big thing? Is Granit can no longer make playoffs or relegations. So the pressure is off. All throughout the split so far, we've seen Granit when there has been pressure, and now they're unleashed. There's nothing holding them back here. They can go all out in this scenario.
Oh, yeah.
Plus Ultra is what I'm expecting from Granit here.
Do it. I mean, you guys have sold it to me now. I'm expecting the spiciest drafts ever at this point in time.
Jinx base pick, do it for me.
We saw the Vein from Baybro yesterday. I was, pretty nice pickup. As you said, very high
huge
pickup. Nice hyper carry shenanigans, as you said. But I would expect like Deadly to just slam a Draven in that case, because Deadly's one of those 80 carries that will just pick up the Draven. Tristana is thought of as the first pick. It will get locked in.
He just can't help himself. He has to first pick his 80 carry. And, you know, people will call it a flex. I think it's just Baybro confidence coming out here. Don't you agree, Goldborg?
Yeah, I completely agree with that one. Now they lock in the Thresh here, who probably would have been better if you wanted to play for the 80 carry, and also Tristana doesn't do too well into Thresh, obviously. But they knew that all along, all right? They're coming in with confidence. They don't care that you're picking champions that counter the champion you have just picked. They'll make it work either way with their picks coming into this one.
And let you two go because you're clearly invested. You're clearly invested.
I mean, they're securing the bot lane already because they're feeling confident. And it's like the enemy team, we see the Diana come in, which honestly, I mean, she'll cry about the moon a little bit, but realistically, Granit are coming in here with confidence in their picks. Third pick, does it even matter what they take? I'm not sure because they've committed already to this Tristana Rakan. They're vibing so far is my general gist of things.
And not only are these confident champions throughout playstyle, look at all these champions they picked so far. They are just confident in nature as well. Rakan, one of the slickest boys on the Rift, and obviously Seth coming in as the boxer, who, I mean, he only cares about his mom really, and he's just a tough brawler like that, just like Granit. They don't care about BTXL. And there's the Draven with the Thresh. They're not scared of that. They're not scared.
Yeah, honestly, man, I feel like Deadly's the one who's a little bit concerned here. You have to pick the Draven here. You have to pick a lane bully because you're scared of the hyper carry Baybro. Banning away the Kindred. Oh, I mean, come on. It's just fear. And it's BTXL showing that they're afraid of Granit Unleashed. We've never before seen full power Granit here. And I'm honestly personally quite scared.
I mean, I couldn't agree more with Orxy as well. And Granit Gaming, I'm not even sure they care about these bans. They're probably spelling something out with it. Don't actually try and read it, but just take my word for it, right? They don't matter. But on the side of BTXL, look at all these target bans coming through, man. And what's the Karma ban for? This is not Muta playing anymore. This is not your Enchanter you have in the mid lane. This is Royal Cannon, who can be a beast on the control mages, on the new Aurelia as well, on the Akali. Yeah, it's nerfed. They don't care about that. They just want to get in there, in your face. You can already see it on their team composition. It's all about diving in and taking care of poor little BTXL. They're just shaking in their pants right now.
Yeah, and actually, you're talking about what the bans spell. They banned Lee Sin. Lee Sin begins with an L. That's what they're trying to give to BTXL right now. So the mental game's really at play here in the draft. And you can see the hesitation BTXL. 20 seconds left, and they're still just trying to think of what they can pick here, what's going to work, just hesitating constantly.
Yeah, look at that. They don't even know what they're going for. The ban face coming out from Granit, they're just completely shook. They don't know what to do at this point. And BTXL, look at the timer run out. Oh, it's a little Camille, but Renekton is still a champion that's up and available as well. I mean, here's Zero. We've seen him for the most part on right? On a tank, on a weak sider. But he's like Rock Lee with the chains on his wrist. Suddenly these chains, they're released, right? The weights, they're off, and now he can just go full Ultra Plus, as Dan was mentioning before as well, where they're just beating BTXL on multiple perimeters, and then a blind pick LeBlanc. I usually hate this pick, but seeing it come through from Granit now, I know it's gonna pay its dividends. There is nothing that could go wrong with this.
Yeah, I mean, it's showing the confidence. It's like hat tricks. What are you going to pick? If you pick Lissandra, you got AP mid jungle. It's just not a thing to do. And then the Olaf coming out to indecision, just again, you know, think how many champions on the side of Ghana have 6-packs. There's 3, and that's a pretty good number. So that's what I'm looking at right now.
Yeah, and the side of BTXL, they only have 1 so far. What is up with that? And then you pick a statue. You know what a statue is? They're petrified, right? They're standing stiff. It's like you're staring into the eyes of Medusa, and you just cannot do anything about it. Look at the amount of shields they had to pick on BTXL as well. Camille, a shield in her passive. Diana, a shield in a W. Galio, the magic shield. Thresh, the lantern. They're scared. They're trying to shield themselves from the horror that is Granit gaming.
Shield bow as well.
Oh, you're right.
I can see that come in.
You're right.
You know, some pretty cool tools with the Galio Camille. It's like, look, we need these really strong engages to answer Baybro, but you know, I think Granit came in confident. They're ready to win. They're ready to take this one.
Yeah, I mean, we talked about BTXL being the underdog, but I mean, this is more than a David Goliath matchup. Granit Gaming, you know, just up on a pedestal right now, staring down at BTXL after this draft phase.
Don't really know what to say, so I'm just going to hand it to the casters.
Well, Jamada.
Yeah.
I think it's been a long time coming, but finally we have cheerleaders in esports, and Orcs and Goldberg are just shy of the pom-poms, but that was a beautiful hype-up display for Granit Gaming there. I am expecting the dance routines to be in for next time. That was some beautiful in-depth analysis there.
It was.
Your eyes were just perfect.
I wish I could recreate the level of energy that Gulborg is able to just kind of produce on a whim. No, I mean, honestly, to bring it down to earth a little bit, as hilarious as that draft segment was, I kind of vibe with this Granit draft. I think there's a fair amount of merit to it. In particular, again, I think this is another really, really high value Olaf pick where it's going to be able to out skirmish a lot of what BTXL are looking to do for large portions of the game. We saw it yesterday into Team Singularity where I kind of called it on the desk. I was like, I said it, sorry, I wasn't on the show yesterday. I was chilling with the guys in the room where I said, this Olaf pick is kind of just gonna destroy the entirety of Team SNG. And it ended up doing exactly that. So hopefully for Indecision, we do get to see that. And of course, with the previous game's result, there's no weight on Granit to really win this game or even take it very seriously. But we'll see whether they can play the upset here into BTXL, because of course, BTXL, you don't want to be starting in the lower bracket in the playoffs. It's a lot more games to play.
Oh yeah.
Because of course, don't forget, we are in the winner-loser bracket format. So, you know, you start in that top bracket, I beg your pardon, and you win it. I mean, you're pretty much kind of in grand finals, I think, like straight away. So, or you're in you play one more or one less rather, best of 5. It's a lot less games to play starting in that top bracket.
For sure.
So you don't want to lose. So picking up
not.
the final 2 wins, big deal.
And to play, you know, to steal a term from wrestling for a moment here, I probably have to play heel just for a second here, because you saw that MasterCard Nexus Insight there. Deadly's Draven is pretty nuts. He's got a Thresh, he's got a Galio, he's got a Camille, he's got a Diana. That wombo combo there could make particularly Baybraw's life very difficult. I mean, the man could get knocked down, eat ground a lot of times this game, and he's going to have to get back up again. Yes, I made a Beyblade reference. I'm sorry. I had to make it at least once. We'll move on from there, but I am excited to see what Deadly can do on the Draven, and if BDXL get the win today, they move to 10-5. They have Tricked on Tuesday. Tricked aren't playing today.
Yeah.
They win that one. They tie for first place. Singularity aren't playing today. If they beat Resolve next week, there will be three teams, tied at 11-5 for a massive first place brawl tiebreaker situation, which I would be quite excited for. But the cheerleaders on the desk, Danik just about misses that hook. Want Granit to win this one, and I can't blame them. It'd be a great opportunity to play spoiler here.
Yeah, absolutely. I do feel like now that we've lost out on that potential sort of, fist fight mosh pit for avoiding relegations, I kind of want to see Granit win. To be quite frank with you, I think. I mean,
you as well. Look,
wait,
I'm supposed to be the unbiased.
Wait. Hold on. Wait, no, I misspoke. I probably. Hold on a second. Now that there's no fisticuffs in the bottom side of the table, I actually just want to see BTXL kind of win. I know it's a bit boring, and you know, realistically, BTXL, they're expected to win this game.
Sure.
But if we do get we get to see them win here, and then they win on next week Tuesday, it's a pretty easy setup for that three-way tie.
Ooh, that's a big hook. Deadly's going to get a couple spinning axes to land there onto Wix, which is going to sting a touch in this bot side. And you can see Dan is pathing down here already, but on the other side, Indecision being very decisive about his pathing towards Orome on this Camille. And this looks like a dive in the making, but the teleport immediately to try and turn this one around. And now they're going bot on the teleport in response. Look who's on fire. Denik is just going to take all the challenge shots.
No.
It's a complete disaster.
God.
And now Deadly's about to get run down as well. And I think all that cheerleading might have done its work, because that is just the most incredible start for Granit you could have asked for.
I don't think it gets much better than burning the teleport of a Galio in the mid lane to immediately call off the dive. And then Royal Cannon, who was coming up for that dive as well, then has complete freedom to teleport to the bottom side and make that counterplay on what BTXL are doing, their own cross map. So, I mean, if Granit, if you're looking to play upset, this is certainly it. Denik, however, is pathing down through the river. He's got Dan behind him. They want a little bit of revenge.
Here we go. Time to try and get something. It was a big shove out, but that's going to be the Crest Strike missing. Babel's going to try and find the way out. The Flay is there. No, going to rocket jump now, but the Lunar Rush follows.
No way.
Grand Ender to knock it up. They're going to walk it out. No way. That's a decent hook, so probably Wix falls surely. No Battle Dance to save him here, and he will fall down to at least his one in trade, but Babel gets out. I thought he was going to get... I made that Beyblade reference already. I thought he was knocked down. I thought he was sure to hit the ground. He just gets to walk away.
Honestly...
What was this early game?
I'm not going to lie. Granit, happy to walk away with that one. So you get the replay here of the dive. They tried to go into Babel, but they just don't have the damage. And Denik, he's just squishy. Does he have Guardian? I think he's got Guardian, so he's not tanky. And Dan takes all of the stacked up tower shots. And all it really takes is an auto attack of Babel to finish him off. And Deadly chained up by Royal Cannon. Freedom to teleport down. Yeah, it's the Guardian on the Thresh, so no tanky stats for hitting the CC there. And I mean, just what a great play from Wixo to ensure that his AD carry can walk out of this one. Even body blocks the hook. Make sure that there is no angle to be found for Denik. And Babel with the double buffs in that lane. It's going to feel pretty happy about that.
Absolutely down. And bit of a reminder here. BTXL are currently 1-3 in their last 4 matches. They went 3 losses on a trot until they won, I believe, yesterday versus Dusty, who, as we've just seen, are at the bottom of the table. So, you know, that's not necessarily the biggest win to pick up. And, you know, they lost their last game with Markun and Advienne. Now they've switched in a couple of people from up in the LEC team, Dan and Denik, and there's still a little bit of a learning curve to go through in Orome. Finds a decent trade versus Hess, who's got to flash away, and never mind me talking about big picture. We're looking at some big trades as now Indecision's coming up, and Orome has overstepped. I think there's no way out. Flash for the undertow, which misses. Not sure you need to do that one, considering he's trapped in the alcove. Hess picks that one, and now Royal Cannon is in trouble. He's going, well, not in trouble, sorry. He's going to try and get onto Hat-Tricks, who at least has a Justice Punch to escape out of danger. And Granit Gaming, starting off here with about the best early game you could possibly have asked for. They've got a kill on Draven early. They've got 4 kills on pretty much all the major carries, including one on Rakan, because why won't you do that? And like, what more could they ask for? And I've just mentioned that BT have been on a bit of a downward trend in the last few matches.
Yeah, certainly have been. Dusty game looked a little bit better, but again, it's against Dusty. It's not exactly the most impressive win in the world, like you highlight. And yeah, the replay here, Zero bites off a little more than he can chew, isn't able to dodge out on the hook shot, used the haymaker aggressively, so didn't have it to use defensively, but Arome kind of just flashes after Zero for pretty much nothing. Has no more cooldowns to chase him down. Indecision does eventually make his way up, does miss the flash undertow, but it's kind of a matter of time here. And Zero does have his cooldowns back up, and from the mid lane, Royal Cannon almost kind of solo kills Hatrix, because Hatrix, they're more focused on trying to make it up to the top side to save Arome.
Jamala, it's 1,500 gold at 7 minutes
Yeah.
versus like a Draven at this point. That's just not what you want to see right now.
Boy,
Denik is just left out to dry. Babro hops in for a little bit more. I mean, there's no Seraphine in the game, but that feels just like an encore. Jay-Z can write all the lyrics he wants. That one was beautiful to watch. It's a 2v2 kill.
Absolutely. I mean, Babro, Wixo coming out huge in this 2v2. I'm a little bit shocked. I wasn't expecting to see such a invigorated Granit side here.
Oh, man.
And I mean, maybe just the freedom, right? There's no weight on their shoulders. They understand fully. I mean, that's it. They can't get relegated. They can't make the playoffs.
I mean, you just watched off the corner of your screen there. Babro burned the bus shot and another explosive charge to chunk out Deadly, who's out of lane now. So it's a plate that goes down. It's a wave that goes down. Yes, he's up a tiny bit in CS, but 2 kills and an assist. Now being forced out of lane as well. This game is quickly falling apart against a team that is supposed to snowball. You're supposed to hit these level 6 and hit these massive wombo combos. And yes, it's not out of reach yet, but this is not the start you want to see if you're a BTXL fan.
Absolutely not. And of course, remember, they lose this game. Oh no, Indecision.
Here we go
He couldn't find it.
again. Granit are thinking about it. They steal the Herald as well, and now Arome trying to find the way to get slowed by the undertone. He's about to be dragged under. That's a thumbs up emote. It was all over Twitter yesterday. And the set picks that one up.
Oh god, this is... I was about to say slowly, but I'll be lying to the viewers. This is quickly turning into a very big disaster early game for BTXL. If it wasn't there already. I mean, you lose the 2v2 in the bottom side here. Denik...
He's Guardian.
Yeah, I mean, he's Guardian. He's a Guardian Thresh. He's not got aftershock. He can't survive this burst. He just face checks and dies. Nothing else to say about it. Royal Cannon manages to steal away the Herald. Actually, I don't know if Indecision had Smite before the start of that play. It didn't look like it, because quite frankly, the Herald did drop quite low, and I feel like Dan was the one that smited the Herald, but it was actually stolen. And they just, they get everything. I don't know.
I went into the sword in the wound last game when the Herald was stolen. It happens again. It's even worse this time. The wound is like a decapitation at this point.
Yeah.
It's a complete disaster. There's no other way to put it. It's 2.5, making nearly 3,000 gold sub 10 minutes. That is huge at this point in the game.
Yeah, and here's the thing, like with this BTXL composition, you know, level 6 is really big deal. You've got the Galio Camille, so like pick on the top side, relatively easy if it wasn't a set. Set's one of the best champions, in my opinion, to kind of deal with a lot of this. You can quite easily suplex the Camille out of the Hextech Ultimatum and things of that nature.
Sure.
Interrupting Galio CC, etc. You've got
shot.
Haymaker Shield. The kit is kind of designed to deal with 2v1 like that. And of course, you've got the Moonfall. And you've got Draven on the bottom side. So kind of from the get-go, BTXL's composition wants to play to both side lanes, or can, and in most spots kind of wants to, which is a bit of a struggle, in my opinion.
Like you see the angle, okay, well, maybe we leave the Camille to play weak side, focus bot side, then come team fights. You know, Arome just has to hit a hook shot on the Hextech Ultimatum, and he's done his job, right? Like, he doesn't have to be the character. But the point stands, right? Like Galio, Camille, plus Diana with the Moonfall. It's a really good top side to play around as well, but either way, both sides have gone horribly wrong. So it's not like
exactly. When you lose your bottom side, when you lose your bottom side, or more adequately accurate, when Granit win the bottom side and then the top side play goes wrong, and it gets counted out by an indecision play as well, what do you even do with this composition? Because there's just not really that many comeback mechanics.
You have to hit the mother of all combos between the Camille, the Diana, and the Galio to get Deadly some kills. Because at least Deadly died early. And that sounds really kind of like antithetical, right? Sounds like a bit wrong. But the point is, because he died early, he didn't lose that many glory stats, right? Like, that's the big deal. He's still actually stacked up okay, I think. I've not actually seen the numbers, so I could be talking out of something I can't say on air.
It was like a third wave dive, right? Fourth wave maybe at worst.
Something like that.
He's got to have at least 100 stats. He's got 100 CS. catching axes. It might even be like 150. I would ask our observer, but I feel like he's going to troll us.
Probably.
Yeah, so...
I mean, the worst thing is Deadly's KDA.
Yeah, 185. Yeah, he's got 185 stacks. Like, that's a decent cash-in right now, to be honest.
If he catches in, that's an option. But that feels like that is the hope right now.
Yeah. That's the only way is... yeah.
Ooh.
Physical damage shield isn't going to stop the true damage of the Haymaker either.
I winced a little bit watching that one.
Yeah, and here's the thing. Now, fortunately, if there is one kind of silver lining, I suppose, for BTXL, it's that Royal Cannon hasn't really had much free roaming time until right now. So my point immediately countered by the fact he moves out of lane.
You tried.
As things, I don't think it's going to turn into a dive. You still have to respect, double globals, technically triple between both teleports and Galio. But Granit playing out of the map really damn well right now. They've won out every single skirmish. Mechanically, it just feels like they've been playing so much better than BTXL in the opening stages. As I say this though, Rome looking for this 2v1.
They saw where the jungle was on the bot side.
Oh my god!
Just 1v2s it! Set comes and says, yeah, well, welcome. You want me in the Thunderbolt Dome, the pit boss? Just eviscerates it. He's on his 3rd kill now and 3 deaths for Rome. The disasters keep on coming.
You are locked in here with me.
Right?
Do not forget that. Oh, okay.
Stand aside now. They're going to sit there. But that was
God.
the best little sidestep I have seen in some time. Deadly gets exhausted and can't keep up. The blood rush is quickly stopped. Gets a little bit fake with all that blood going to the head. And Babro just keeps his head cool and walks his damn way out.
I don't know what to say right now. I mean, XL kind of just losing on every front. Any play they try and make, it just doesn't go their way. And we spoke about Set being one of the... I mean, I said it outright. I think he's the best champion dealing with this combination. I don't think there's a champion that can handle this 2v1 anywhere near as well as Set can. And if Hatrix doesn't have flash... Yeah, I mean, if Hatrix doesn't have flash right here, he dies too. Hystera probably would have run him down.
That was really sad to watch.
I think we need some breaking news to break up some of the tempo.
What is the breaking news?
Tension. Head over to KitKat Gaming. Yeah,
amazing.
For a
What
chance to win
news?
skins.
Get those skins. I mean, like, on fairness, there have been some serious rewards for it. I saw that the prize pool that MasterCard had running as well. KitKat got something running as well. There are so many skins and like RP prize pools to win. Like, there have got to be like every competition to the side. You just got to like sign your name up. Get going.
Yeah. The amount of free stuff, that you can get from just taking part in these competitions here at the end.
2 minutes.
Yeah, doesn't take long. Go do it. It's a lot of stuff. Now, Granit, they want to bully Rome a little bit more. They feel like he's not been bullied enough.
Oh boy. Well.
Yeah.
That was. Well, I was going to say something there. There's not really much to say. It's a dead Camille.
It is a dead Camille. And the sad thing about this for BTXL is, where's the cross map? There isn't one. You're just not ready to respond to this play yet. Granit have full control of this game. There's no other way to describe what's happening on our screens right now other than that.
2 dragons over 3,000 gold. They're going to get first turret as well. They're going to Tristana at 3-0 and 1. They've got a set at 3-0 and 0. XL have got to pull a miracle from somewhere right now. They have got to find something soon, or this game is going to run away from them. They are an early to mid game spiking comp to begin with. And yes, they have some tools. I mean, like, it's not like Diana and Camille don't scale in a side lane, don't get me wrong. But at this point, the mid game is an absolute disaster already. And they're just back. Arome is getting dived again. He just walked out onto the map. You can't keep getting away with it. At least this time, the tower does his work versus Wix, and maybe BTXL can find something, but Royal Cannon is going to track down Battle Ward style. Throws out the Ethereal Chains and reveals his presence, but Second Herald gets a charge in. I think they secured the turret there as well, so the gold lead extends even further. It is 5,000 gold plus at just over 15 minutes, Jamada. What on earth do BTXL do right now?
You just kind of have to hope for a deadly cash in. I don't think there's any other way back into this game for the immediate future. We did just have deadly on our screens, had a little bit under 300 stacks, so it's a lot of gold to cash in. I had a conversation during the BTXL Fnatic Ryzen game about the passive of Draven. I'm pretty sure, what's the multiplier on the stacks? I think it's 1.5.
That's huge.
It's something like that. So he cashes in the kill, he's effectively going to get double the gold value right now of a typical kill. And that can be really massive for a Draven. And I mean, you know,
pair that up with a set shutdown or the Tristana shutdown, like Deadly becomes a very rich man.
And I will say, you know, the scaling on Granit, it's it's not fantastic either. It's not like this is a clear, you know, BTXL do have, yes, an early to mid-game team composition, but Granit's just objectively will outscale at every point in the game. I mean, it does get a little bit better. I'm not gonna, you know, fluff hopes too much, but it does definitely scale better. But it's not like this clear cut and dry, you know, utility mage control, all the traditional hyper carry nonsense.
I mean, yes, the Diana and the Camille are always behind right now, but they both scale pretty well, in fairness, for both of them. Like, hit and late game, that Camille will kind of be happy to turn around some of the early game woes.
Yeah, and I mean, the last time I did see Deadly on this Draven, it was in that Fnatic Rising game, and they were behind until he got the cash in. And as soon as he got the cash in, the feel of the game just immediately changed. Went back, finished up an entire item, and all of a sudden, he was a force to be reckoned with. And the BTXL composition, it does have a lot of peeling mechanics to try and save Deadly. Now, Azero.
Again, they're going topside, they're looking for the combo, and that is a massive shutdown. The Whirling Death is literally half a second too late for Deadly to cash in on that. But either way, it does get Arome back into the game, and it is something, and it relieves some of the pressure right now. It gives some free time in the top side, and that at least is something. The problem is it's 10 seconds until this Mountain Drake, and you blew 3 ultimates, and that signals to me, Jamada, that BTXL are not going to contest for this one, so they're going to be down Soul Point very early on in the game.
Yeah, absolutely. I think they go for the contest here. It's suicide. You'd just be running. You would just be running it down at that point. There is no way you would end up winning the fight here. So good to recognize that. But Mountain Soul on these champions, it's gonna feel bad to give over. You know, from the perspective of a lot of these champions, a lot of mobility, a lot of self-peel tools. To lock them down is going to be difficult enough anyway, even with some of the CC you have. But a lot of these champions on BTXL don't like dealing with resistances in general. It's only really Camille that's like got that massive chunk of true damage where she's like, okay, I don't care. I got a Cho'Gath for like a 4-second cooldown. You know, Diana, she doesn't want to deal with resistances. Galio certainly doesn't want to. Obviously, eventually turns into more of a frontliner. Well, traditional Draven builds at the moment actually do kind of lean on the Fallae, but right now it looks like we're probably going to see a shield bow out of Deadly. That would be my best guess anyway. I feel like a Kraken Slayer or Gale Force would be potentially ill-advised.
I tend to agree, and considering the way the game has gone so far, like adding a little bit of survivability, considering how fragile your members are at the minute, considering the ways behind people are, makes some sense. There's maybe Arome here just thinking about an angle for Royal Cannon, who is wisely, I think, playing relatively safe here and is unlikely to be in a dangerous position until Hextake Ultimatum, I suppose, could come through. Hatrix isn't really around to support with a heroic entrance as Indecision. Gonna land a big little undertow, and that knocks him into the wall. Gonna force Deadly into a difficult position, but he does survive. Just about until look who's at S0. He's looking for the dunk. How's the heal coming out from Deadly alongside the Blood Rush to try and escape? But Denick will be the sacrifice. It comes at the cost of the mid lane tier 1 as well, and Granit Gaming get what they came for.
Okay, Granit get what they came for, but Deadly didn't lose his stacks, and that is so huge for him. If he loses the stacks there, you know, I mean, he's almost at 400. The issue is, yeah, 20-minute Baron looks like it's on the table.
They're starting.
And I mean, I don't know. I don't think there's any way to stop this. They're going to pull in the teleport. See Denick's in base, but I feel like this is just kind of a Granit favored scenario, unless they can get in the pit and cause chaos.
Deadly's in so much trouble. He's trying to survive, but the stacks are gone. Royal Cannon gets the kill, and now 3v5. Denick still not here. Granit start to turn the screws, and in they go. It's a heroic entrance, but it is a last gasp, and the heroes are falling. Maybe they were the villains all along if you were listening to the analyst. As Hatrix gets out with his life, the Baron is stopped. But Deadly's glorious stacks, they fall by the wayside.
Fall by the wayside. So many just lost there. He was at 400.
Daylight robbery.
Yeah, daylight robbery. Royal Cannon, I mean, he might just finish up with Medjai's in base.
Can you blame him?
He's behind. He's behind
already. He's got 8 steals on that dark stat. I will be down for it.
You know, I was thinking about it before we saw that Baron potential start. Despite the gold deficit, the items in the inventories are actually all at one spike or one item. Now, yeah, Royal Cannon, he didn't actually know that Deadly was there until he distortioned over the wall. Then he's like, oh, wait a minute. There's a Draven here. Nice. Picks that one up, and well, the re-engage, nice. cannon buys enough time, and the slam forward with all of the rest of the engage tools, more than enough to lock down members. And now Granit, full control. Yeah, thank you for the vision hover, because you can see BTXL completely blind.
Patrick's is charmed up, but I don't think that is a charm you want to be involved with. And it turns out Love is a bit of a killer. Down goes Hatrix. Too entertaining is Rakan right now, it turns out. And the quickness put Hatrix into an early grave. He's got a teleport, but he's still going to be off the map for 20 seconds. And the Baron bait will continue until morale improves. And I think Granit's morale is pretty high right now, Jamal.
Yeah, you know, you call it a bait. I don't think it's a bait. I feel like it's at this point, it's just, come, you have to stop us, or we're just gonna take the Baron. And BTXL, they recognize this. Deadly. Oh, first the blades in the
I was really worried for him there.
He is so scared. But I mean, right now, wrong side of the map. BTXL, they're gonna return back to a correct side of Summoner's Rift.
Right. Maybe they're gonna tier 1 out of this. That's something for BTXL. But here come the rest of Granit. So
I don't know.
Might be able to clear it out. I mean, Tristana's got some AoE auto attacks and deletes the minions, and even that is denied BTXL. It has been a game that has shown little hope for the side of XL. Granit Gaming have had this one since minute 1, since that early bot lane play, and they just haven't taken their foot off the accelerator. Their foot is firmly on BTXL's throat.
What are we looking at here? Is this BTXL actually finding a pick?
They're thinking something. They've got Hester, but that's the set.
Oh,
just
no.
Stop us out.
Oh, no.
It's a disaster. Granit gonna find Dedic already. It's done. It's done already. It's a double for indecision. Baybral gets the jungler, and Deadly and Arome are left to watch as their team just falls apart. That was not the pick they were looking for.
These frontline bruisers are so impossible to take down.
I mean, it's Gordrinker and Sterax.
It's like Gordrinker, set existing. You can't CC Olaf. I don't know. It's just so impossible. I feel like the Granit champions here just deal so well with what BTXL put on the table.
I mean, maybe you lock down Rakan and blow them up, but that's just the support. Maybe you could lock down Baybral, but he can bust a shot you out. Like, so few options. Is Deadly and Arome going to try and play this one? Maybe, but it's a 2v3, and Arome is on a 3rd HP. They've just got to back away. That will be Mountain Soul and Baron at 24 minutes with an 8,000 gold lead.
I mean, honestly, I'm having flashbacks, except it's worse for BTXL, to their round 1 Robin matchup, where Granit had a gold lead for about, I don't know, if I had to give it an arbitrary number, like 90 to 95% of the game. BTXL just didn't know how to deal with Granit. And I mean, you engage onto set, expect to be re-engaged with full force. Perfect case study of that. No way for BTXL to respond in a tight choke like this as well. Just makes the retreat paths even harder when you're talking about a mountain map too. It's one of the few times I feel like I've seen that little mountain rock cause a little more mayhem than it potentially should. BTXL just kind of routed in that team fight again.
I mean, that's a discussion, right? It's been a little bit of a fall from grace. I mean, perhaps it's to be expected. You switch out 2 of the most critical members to how you play the early game, jungler and support. And Vienna and Marcoon, who were, absolutely fabulous. They've been looking great in LEC as well. Credit to them. But you bring in 2 members down this far through a split, it can be tricky to integrate them. And BXL just looking a little bit suspect at the minute. It has to be said, and that conversation needs to start happening. Yes, they've got the 9 wins, but playoffs aren't that. One more day off. One more regular season day off, occurring in a lot of ways. There'll be maybe some tiebreakers as well to clarify. Finally finish that sentence in a way that works in English. But the point stands there. Actually, how threatening is this team going to be in playoffs? They've got some time to, get these members more practice for it. But at the minute, I think, the likes of Singularity and Tricks are rubbing their hands.
Yeah, and I mean, there's been a lot of talk as Hatrix potentially could get caught out here. Let's see, because I mean, I feel like Indecision and Wixlow could have just ran into them. Maybe looking at Zero, but tough customer across the board.
Hatrix finds a stun, but it comes to the cost of his health bar. Baybral nearly dies, but finally the cash is a 1-for-1, a massive shutdown, but now Deadly has to try and survive. The Moonfall is doing okay, buying space, but you called it before. There is no one to stop the Olaf, who is anything but indecisive. It's a double already, and BTXL, I'll use that word again, are routed. Yes, they get Baybral, but it's still a Baron buff. It is still a 4v2, and now they're going to shove in and get an inhibitor. They've got a minion wave, and I think they can look to end it.
Yeah, certainly can. They don't have an AD carry, but honestly, these champions, you might not need them. Honestly, they've got the first Nexus tower. Arome's trying his best. I don't know if it's going to be enough, though.
It is smoke and mirrors, but you're trying that versus LeBlanc. I think she comes out ahead every time.
All right, I mean...
Granit played it safe. They back away.
They don't lose the game right here, BTXL and Granit. I think the smarter call out of the two. You overcommit here. It's the way that you throw games. You see it a lot. Teams, they get comfortable. They feel like they can end. Hatrix loses so much of his HP bar just trying to lock down Babro. And eventually, Deadly does get the flash forward. 800 gold shutdown. I didn't quite get to catch the summer gold he got as well. Off of his stacks, but Indecision just runs him down. No one can stop him. He's in Ragnarok. Slam forward from Rosero, able to lock down Dan 2. And Arome, doesn't matter that he misses the hook shot because the landing is there for him, but the flexibility of re-engage for this composition of Granit is so damn high. BTXL, you know, clear win conditions in the early game. Clear ways to play out this composition, but it feels like Granit, especially after that bottom side dive, it immediately cut off their options really to play towards Draven for a little while. And then the top side play happens, it's like, okay, where do we even go from this point? And the answer seems to be nowhere so far.
Feels that way, unfortunately. The options are getting remarkably thin right now. Deadly is here. He's got himself 2.5 items, but look on the other side, it's 3+ stopwatch for Brabro, and that's without considering LeBlanc, the Olaf, the set. So many members that Deadly is fighting into, and it is terrifying. Yes, Arome got a couple items as well, but he can't split push, he can't play the side lane, and they're trapped in their base with 2 inhibitors down and a Nexus turret down. It's looking mighty dire.
It is looking more than dire right now. Granit have played this game so well. And it's left little recourse from BTXL. Pretty much just this mid lane inhibitor to go, and they've got super stacked up in the top side. BTXL, they have to fight now or it's over.
They've got a hope and a prayer, but they're playing into Ragnarok, the end of days. That's what's supposed to kill the gods. Prayers aren't going to do much good for you in that situation. Royal Cannon starting to hop forwards. These were the spring champions. They were supposed to be winning summer as well, and it's looking like there is nothing left in the tank. The prayers fall on deaf ears, and Granit plays spoiler. They will end BTXL's hope of ending the split in first place. The cheerleaders need to get their pom-poms out. Orcs and Guldborg will be waving them around after this one. Granit smash XL.
What an absolutely fantastic game coming out of Granit, honestly. So great to watch, and with the pressure off, right? That's what we spoke about. No pressure on this Granit team to actually perform. And they performed.
Supposed to be a meme analyst test. They were supposed to be joking. That was Deadly's, like, literally deathless Draven, and it just falls apart.
Yeah, it did. And, you know, I think to speak on BTXL before we hand over to the break, I mean, you know, especially this split this year, it feels like there's been a lot of narrative around, you know, the regular split doesn't. You make it into playoffs, that's the important thing. Performing in playoffs is the important thing. But when you come out of the regular season into playoffs in this kind of form, the question has to be asked, how much growth can occur between, you know, the beginning of next week and then playoffs starting in a couple of weeks' time? Because you're basically working with a fresh roster when you plug and play the support and jungle so late into the split. I'm still going to have my questions for BTXL. I mean, their final game of the split, it's going to be Tricked. It's not going to be an easy way to close out either. And now it's about SNG and Tricked in Division A fighting out for the first seed in their group.
Absolutely. Well, that is a question for the cheerleaders in chief on the analyst desk to answer. See you in a second or two.